peeps? Erik Galaxy here, Twit Radio. Week 1 NFL is in the books. Week 2 is starting this week. But before I get into the football portion of the program, I want to talk about baseball, MLB. One of the big things that have come up, conversations that have come up this past couple weeks is about being hit by pitches. There's apparently some kind of groundswell from players now because, let's face it, pitchers nowadays, 90 to 100 miles per hour is the norm, all right? Pitchers are throwing harder and faster than they've ever done before. Apparently since 2020, the hit by pitches have gone up exponentially. And yeah, if you're getting hit by a pitch at 96, 97 miles per hour, yeah, that kind of hurts a little bit. So yeah, there's a groundswell from players that want to see some kind of rules changes, possibly, where pitchers get penalized. But I mean, how do you regulate that? Because like the one guy said, you know, he just lost control of the ball. You're throwing harder and faster, that means less control. And it doesn't help any that the Major League Baseball cut down on the amount of sticky substance that you could use on the ball to throw the pitch, so that now you don't have as much control over it. I mean, yeah, sure, sometimes hit by pitches are intentional, retaliatory, or whatever you want to call it. But I mean, you know, that's kind of like a gray area, and how do you really know? I mean, I guess you could say, well, the pitch comes down this range or this whatever, it was intentional, but if it's over here, it's not intentional. I mean, I don't know. But that's going to be hard to regulate, one of those hard to regulate things. So, I mean, I guess you just gotta get used to it, I guess. Maybe we bring more sticky stuff back on the ball. I mean, you can use that rosin, but you can only use to a certain degree. You know, I mean, now they're kicking guys out of the game because they had too much stuff on their fingers or whatever. I don't know, maybe they look at it as being like a old school spitball type of thing or something. I don't know. But anyways, yeah, hit by pitches are up. People are throwing faster, harder. So, what are you going to do? And on that note, there was conversation this week, past week also, about something somebody brought up. This is kind of weird. Brought up the fact that there have been 326 no-hitters thrown in Major League Baseball in the modern era, and there's only been 26 combined no-hitters. So combined mean when several pitchers contribute to the no-hitter game. And somebody even said something stupid like, well, does that mean, you know, because they're more rare, that means that they're better or equal to complete game no-hitters? I'm like, no, they're not equal. They're not equal to a guy pitching all 9 innings and getting a no-hitter. Because you can just throw, combined no-hitters, you can throw like, you know, 4 or 5 guys in there, they all pitch 1 inning and they get the outs and everything. So no, they're not equal at all. That's just crazy. Now, you know who gets credit for it? The catchers. Catchers get credit for no-hitters because, well, they did the 9 innings. So to say that combined no-hitters are equal to complete game no-hitters is ludicrous. It's a ludicrous conversation, and we just need to stop that. So, lastly, this is just a kind of a whimsical thing, I guess you could say. I noticed that the Tampa Bay Rays now in their uniforms have like a little kind of like a starburst type of thing, where it's like kind of like a sun type of thing, starburst thing, whatever. They used to be called the Tampa Bay Devil Rays, and it was named after that fish thing that's in the water, you know, whatever, like that. And then I think they dropped their name Devil because they were a crappy baseball team. They were sucking, so they figured, well, we're going to drop the name Devil and just become the Tampa Bay Rays. And then all of a sudden they had success, I guess. But I guess now, even now, they're trying to move even farther past the old fish thing, and now it's just the rays, like rays of sunshine type of thing. I just thought that was kind of interesting that, you know, they went from devil rays, fish, to rays of sunshine. Anyways, that's my MLB take. So season's still going. My team not doing so good, but we got football. All right, so NFL Week 1 is in the books. So let's kick it off with some kickoffs. So this whole new dynamic kickoff thing. First of all, can we stop calling it a dynamic kickoff? It's just the kickoff. It's new rules, it's a new way of doing it, but it's just the kickoff. I mean, we didn't change the name from a regular kickoff from the 40s to when all of a sudden they started doing, I mean, the only kickoff that should have a name to it is an onside kickoff, and I don't even think we have those anymore. But anyways, we didn't change the name from one to the other and just call it little subtle changes. So why are we calling it, all of a sudden, got to give the kickoff a new name? It's just a kickoff, okay? That being said, there's a lot of people that hate it. There's a lot of people that don't like it. There's a lot of people that hate it. Myself, I'm like, yeah, okay. It's a change, it's different, it's not traditional, whatever. There is strategy involved in the new kickoff style, new kickoff rules, because like the kickoff team wants to kick the ball just into the end zone and just take it out to, you know, bring it out to the 35. We'll deal with that later. Maybe that needs to be tweaked a little bit. Maybe next year they'll increase it to like, oh, it comes out to the 40-yard line instead. But there has already been one dynamic kickoff return that went for a touchdown. So I mean, it can happen, right? Teams are going to be shifting strategies. I mean, like I said, I think the last show where teams will start like shoving to one side and creating a wall on the side or whatever. There'll be like lots of laterals and maybe behind the back stuff or whatever. I don't know. But so far, I mean, yeah, there's still a lot of balls that have been going into the end zone, but returns are up. So, I mean, that's a good thing, right? Returns are up, and not that much, but they're up. So, yeah, I mean, I'm okay with it. But yeah, if they change the rule and tweak it so that the ball comes out to the 40-yard line now, let's say, instead of the 35-yard line, well, now that's a big difference, because all you have to do is maybe 2 good plays of maybe, I don't know, 10 yards or so, whatever, 20 total, and next thing you know, now your field goal kicker's in field goal range, because that was another thing they talked about this last week was kickers are making routine 50-yard plus kicks all the time. And I was like, okay, but I kind of thought that was kind of been going on for a couple of years now, because, I mean, I'm looking at my kicker, or any kicker, and I'm like, oh, what's that? Oh, it's 51, 52, oh, piece of cake. I've been thinking this for a while. Oh, 51, 52, piece of cake. If you don't have a kicker that can make 50-yard plus field goals, then you ain't got a kicker. So, and everybody's doing it now. There's so many of them out there. Why do you think that is? I don't know, because maybe they're trying longer field goals because they know, hey, my kicker can like boom it. Why are more kickers being able to kick farther? Well, once again, the evolution of the game is going to dictate that people are going to get stronger and better and faster and whatnot. And then you got these kids probably going, you know what? I can make a lot of money if I just know how to kick a football. So you get these soccer players, you know, and they're like, all I gotta do is work on accuracy, bam, 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 50 yards is no problem. So yeah, every time I see when they put the little graphic up there that says, oh, a 52-yard attempt, I'm like, dude, it's almost a gimme. I mean, it's usually when they miss it, it's only because it didn't come short. It just came up and it was a little wider, right or left. But yeah, kickers, you know, they're better now. So that new kickoff rule, if they tweak it where the ball has to come to the 40, well, now people are going to be thinking, you know, maybe we want to start kicking the ball into that little landing zone that's there and take our chances with that. We'll see. Another thing that got me was the hip drop tackle. Been talking all off season about this. Oh, we can't do the hip drop tackle anymore. It creates injuries, and they were showing replays over and over again of people, you know, get injured on hip drop tackles, where you basically grab the person by the hip and then you kind of flop your body down, pull them down or whatever, so their legs buckle or whatever. I saw at least 3 instances of that happening this past weekend where it was not called. So once again, I guess this is kind of a subjective call, because if your leg is out maybe a little farther or a little farther in or whatever, or maybe your hips are turned a different way, maybe it's not a penalty. I don't know. But I saw, it's like, there's no one they're trying to get out of the game, and nobody called it. So we'll have to see how that goes. God, I guess if they didn't call it in the first week, they're not going to call it. I mean, unless it's egregious, unless the guy gets up limping. If the guy gets up limping or whatever, this big boom, the okay flag, you know, 5 seconds after the play ends. Another one of those stupid rules they have now is that the illegal formation, and that was blown whistle. I mean, one after the other, one after the other, one after the other, blowing the whistle for illegal formation because the tackle's head was not even with the belt line of the center. I think that's what it is. I guess there must be something, because, I mean, not all tackles are the same height and not all centers are the same length or whatever. So, I mean, it's like if you're trying to get your head over or whatever. So I heard an offensive lineman saying, well, but the tackle's feet are in the same position as he would be. So the only problem was he wasn't bent over enough, so his head. But his feet are still in the same place. And there's a defensive lineman saying, well, that's cheating or whatnot. But, man, I mean, it's got, once again, subjective. You know, they have to, that's what that Hawkeye stuff would be good for. If the rule is that your head has to be even with the belt line, they have that Hawkeye technology right down the line, right there, laser it over there. Guy's head's there, beep, goes off, the little button on the Hawkeye, beep, he's off, or whatever. I don't know how that one works technology-wise, but maybe we need to use Hawkeye technology for that thing instead of that first down marker thing, which is, that didn't work out. That was weird that they dropped that. Before the season even started, say, you know what, wasn't working so good in preseason. Nix. Have you seen this thing called the hook block? Did not know this existed. The hook block. Apparently it's okay to, if you're a offensive lineman, it's okay to hook the arm of the defensive player. As long as you don't grab them, you can hook them and turn your back like this, because you're not technically holding, but you're kind of holding. And apparently this is okay now. I guess this is a new technique that's being taught or something. I'm not really sure, but I saw it a couple times. They pointed it out where the guy's, you know, blocking, and the defensive guy puts his hands up, and the other guy turns around and kind of like, sorry. I'm sorry. Your arm got caught in my arm. I'm sorry. I'm just like, you know, I'm sorry you hit my fist with your face. I'm sorry. I guess it's okay now. So there you go. It's something to really watch, to see how often, once again, borderline called by the referees, I guess. But yeah, hook block, I guess it's a thing. And lastly, Announcer overkill, as usual. Woulda, shoulda, coulda. Oh, he would have been a pick six if he would have caught that, or that might was a close to. You know, it's almost like that thing. Is what's a near miss in airplane stuff? Near miss. Isn't a near miss a hit? But announcers, they just like two things. They like tough. One-handed catch. A one-handed catch. Well, okay. A one-handed catch is if someone catches the ball and then runs or falls around or whatever. You can't call a one-handed catch just because he caught it up here, but then he brings his other hand up here and down. That's not a one-handed catch. That's a two-handed catch. It just happens that one hand was up here, the other hand was down here, and then he brought the ball down into his hands. Don't quit calling it a one-handed catch when two hands were involved. Also, the no-look pass, well, it's not like the guy's just like throwing this, well, there was that one play by that one guy in Tennessee. It was definitely a no-look pass, pick six, but it's not a no-look pass just because the guy, you know, looks at somebody, then turns and throws it exactly where he was just looking. That's not a no-look pass. That's like I was looking and now I'm passing. Just because I'm not looking as the ball's going away doesn't mean it's a no-look pass. A no-look pass is, or like that guy in Tennessee Titans. That's a no-look pass. So quit calling it a no-look pass. Quit calling it a one-handed catch when they're not. Oh, also I love the announcers using the phrase tough call. Ooh, that's a tough call. Ooh, when you see something happening and a penalty's called and replay shows that it clearly was not a penalty, but you know, it's not a penalty. It's a penalty. Tough call. That's a tough call. Which basically, in announcer speak means bullshit. That was a bullshit call. So just when you hear the announcer say, "That was a tough call," he say it was bullshit. So just keep that in mind. But yeah. So and we have that new video replay thing. It's kind of like a VAR, but it's like really fast now. They're using technology-wise, where I can't remember what place it's on. It's on, I think it's intentional grounding plays, hits to the head and neck area of the quarterback, and there was one other, I don't remember what it was, but apparently people back in New York are already watching stuff, so they can immediately buzz down to the referees and say, pick the flag up, what wasn't called, or no, pick the flag up. I don't think they can add a flag at that point, but they can definitely, because the flags would have been thrown. So, okay, right. The flag's been thrown, so they pick the flag up, so that's what happens. So, they've got that going on now. That's a pretty cool, I didn't know they had that. Did not know they had that, so this instant replay, booth replay type of thing. But anyways, yeah, so week 1, NFL, yeah, here we go. Week 2, here we go. Alright, so let's get into my shorts. Alright, so the Washington Commanders fired their vice president of, I don't know, whatever. Apparently for making remarks to a fake TV show, I guess. Apparently there's this company that goes around and they videotape people in secret and then publish footage. Apparently this same company has been held for liable a few times by certain people. But anyways, regardless, the vice president of whatever it was, in an interview, basically called Jerry Jones racist. He called Roger Goodell the $50 million puppet. He said his own fans were alcoholics and mouth breathers or something like that. I mean, you know, so okay, alright, okay, so yeah, busted, dude. Regardless of the reason or the way you got busted, you said the shit. It gets me thinking, and this can't be the only guy that's thinking this in the whole entire, you know, NFL ownership, vice presidents, whatever. There's got to be, this isn't the only guy. You know, I mean, what's that old saying? I don't remember what the old saying is, but I think you know what I mean. It's like, he ain't the only dude. So, what other people are like, oh shit man, who are these guys interviewing me type of thing? Might not, I don't know man, yeah, you might want to like, especially if it's like somebody coming going, hey, we're going to record this for whatever purposes. You're going to record me for whatever important purposes. I ain't saying shit about nothing. Another thing about the Commanders that I heard was that new ownership was contemplating changing the name back to the Redskins? Because apparently everybody in Washington hates that frickin' Commander's name. Everybody hates it. And apparently you go to the games and there's people showing up with their Redskins gear all over, hats, jackets, shirts, whatever. Not so much Commander's paraphernalia being sold. So I actually talked to a Redskins fan, a Washington fan, whatever you want to call it, the other day, and they were like, I was talking about, oh, I heard the new ownership was bringing back maybe bringing back the Redskins name. He's like, I hope so. Oh, I hope so, because blah, 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 blah. And I told him, you know what? It's funny because I used to work at an Indian-run casino, tribal casino, and there were quite a few tribal members that wore Washington Redskins paraphernalia, and that was their team. Redskins, yeah, let's go. So I don't know, man. That would be very interesting if that were to happen. I mean, I'm trying to think of what would the backlash be. People will get angry? Okay. Do you sell more tickets? You sell less tickets? I don't know. I'll bet you if they did a survey, more people would be buying tickets if they were so-called Redskins. I mean, yeah, they suck right now as it is, as the Commanders, but I think people would forgive the suckiness if they were called the Redskins. Just saying. Tyreek Hill. Dude, you gotta know when to hold them. You gotta know when to fold them. If you're going to do something stupid, you can't turn around and tell everybody, and it's caught, and it's on videotape. You can't turn around and tell everybody, I didn't do nothing. I wasn't doing nothing. I didn't do nothing. Now, granted, there was probably a little bit excessive force there. Well, actually, there was excessive force. Having been in that same situation myself. Yeah, dude, you can't be doing that stuff and then turn around and say that you didn't do nothing. Because you did do something. It was stupid, so. I was watching an interview with Aaron Rodgers, and he was talking about how he does things to basically manipulate the refs into thinking certain things, and so therefore calling certain penalties or whatever. I thought it was kind of interesting because I'm pretty sure he's not the only one that does it. Any savvy quarterback that's been around for a long time probably knows, oh yeah, this ref, he likes to call this stuff. On this ref, he calls it. On this ref, he knows that blah, 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 blah. So I thought it was pretty interesting. So that's one of the things I'm actually going to be looking for more this year, is seeing plays that are like, obviously, oh, yeah, that quarterback did that, made that move, or said that thing, or whatever, to, like, you know, during the course of the game, be able to, like, maybe later on he gets that call. Or he doesn't get that call, or whatever. Kind of goes both ways, but yeah. But anyways, what I'm getting at here is quarterbacks try to manipulate refs. Saw that movie Fall Guy, finally, this past week. Yeah, I mean, it was a nice, I don't want to say cute, but it was decent. There was humor in it, and there was, I mean, it's a stunt movie about stunt people, so there were a lot of stunts, a lot of really cool stunts. Some weird a drug sequence, some weird drug sequence in there. But overall, yeah, it was pretty, it was good, it was entertaining. And there was a nice twist at the end, and so, I mean, if, you know, I saw it on, you know, I don't know, I can't remember what channel it's on or whatever, but, yeah, if you're looking for something to, you know, nice breezy movie to watch one nighttime, yeah, I recommend it. It's good. All right, so this is the, let's see, we're coming up on the beginning of Hispanic Heritage Month. Starts on September 15th. Now, I'm trying to figure out why it's starting on September 15th. Why didn't they just make September, the month of September, Hispanic Heritage Month? Like they do, like, you know, but Black History Month is like February, I think it's what it is. Then they have Breast Awareness Cancer Month, which is like, I think that's October, I think that is. I mean, so why is it on the 15th to the 16th of October? Kind of weird. The only reason I can think of is that because Mexican Independence Day is on the 16th of September. So you wanted to get it in there. But then if that's the case, then why isn't it just Mexican heritage and not Hispanic? Because Hispanic covers a whole lot of other countries and stuff, right? And being Hispanic myself, I know all about that, you know, heritage and stuff, like heritage, Mexican heritage. But if they're calling it Hispanic, so that means that's you know, that's Cuba. I mean, that could be Spain. That could be you know, Venezuela. That could be, I mean, it could be all kinds. You know, Curacao. I don't know. I mean, is that all El Salvador? I mean, isn't that all Hispanic? Philippines? Are the Philippines Hispanic? I mean, I'm not Asian, but they're kind of Hispanic because, I mean, Spain ruled the Philippines for a long time, so you know there was a lot of going on there. So, yeah, I don't know. But anyway, Hispanic Heritage Month starts on the 15th and goes to October 16th. So, get out there and, I don't know. I don't know what we're supposed to do about it. Was to learn about it? Viva la somebody. This just in, Pac-12, which is actually the Pac-2 now, Pac-2, is actually adding 4 teams for the 26-27 season. Boise State, Colorado State, San Diego State, and Fresno State will be joining Oregon State and Washington State. So that's 6 teams right there, all with state in the name. But they have to add 2 more before they can become a conference according to NCAA rules. So, I don't know, Idaho State? You know what happens? Cal and Stanford, get the F out of the ACC, come back to the Pac-12. That's what happened. Cal and Stanford, come back to the Pac-12. Of course, they don't go be the Pac-8 again all over. I don't know. But, yeah. 2 more schools. All right, so the United States men's national team, the USMNT, interesting that soccer, the word soccer is not in that acronym. That you just assume that it's soccer because it's called the United States men's national team. So, I mean, could it be national basketball team? National lacrosse team? National swimming team? I don't know. But anyways, the USMNT hired Mauricio Pochettino? Anyways, ex-Argentine footballer. Supposed to be a pretty good coach. He coached Tottenham Hotspurs to a pretty good record. PSG. He coached it, and Chelsea for a little bit. But anyways, apparently he's supposed to be pretty good. We'll see how that works out for our men's national team. This is the second time that we've hired a foreign-born coach to coach the team. That didn't go so good the last time with the Jurgen Klinsmann. There were a lot of factors in that. It wasn't because he was a bad coach. It was just basically he didn't really grasp the level of soccer that we play in the United States does not match Europe or South America. I mean, those are knives out fan-based communities. And so when he tried to get things done, because he knows how you're supposed to get things done in the European and South American market, U.S. Soccer Federation kind of pushed back on him a little bit, and he was a little bit arrogant because that's how coaches are in Europe and South America. But apparently we didn't like the way he acted, whatever. So we'll see how it goes with this guy, but I think we're at the breaking point where it's like enough is enough. We can get talented players and work on them. Apparently that's one of this guy's big strengths is getting younger players and developing them. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. But yeah, Mauricio Pochettino. And in women's USWNT, Alex Morgan has decided to call it quits. She's retiring, and already there's talk of there's already GOAT talk. I mean, I think women's soccer has a little bit. There seems to be a lot more GOATs. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot more GOATs in there because over the years, the ones that won the World Cup back in the 1990s and 2000, and then now we got this new generation coming up. Came up, you know, Alex Morgan winning the World. You know, but it seems like it's like Megan Rapinoe, Alex Morgan, who was what was her name? The one that's married to yeah, that one. She's married to the baseball player. I mean, but it seems like they got there's a lot of GOATs there. So I mean, to call her the GOAT is like, yeah, I don't know. Let's just hold off on that right now, because it seems to me there's been a lot of like women soccer players that have been highly touted over the course of the decades. But yeah, thank you for your service, Alex. All right, and finally, once again, quit saying that C.J. Stroud had the best rookie season by a quarterback ever. He did not lead his team to a championship game. Oh wait, after being third string on the team at the beginning of the season, and then reeling off 6 straight victories into the championship game. He didn't do that. And lastly, WWE is not a sport, and Jim Plunkett should be in the Hall of Fame. Peace out.